Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for ICONversations. The ICON program is designed to celebrate our company's top producers. These agents have not only exceeded capping status, but have also reached exceptional milestones, earning them various stock grants and the opportunity to earn back their paid company dollar. From Alabama, we have Kelly Cummings. From Indiana, we have Tamara Doolin. From New Hampshire, we have Donald Gaudreau. And our fantastic moderator today from Texas is Bill Bexley. Bill, take it away.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in this great country of ours. We wanted to, really even around the world if you're listening, want to spend some time with some of our colleagues here and understand a little bit of how they do business, what works, maybe what hasn't worked. So we wanted to take a few minutes to just to get to know them. So let's do this. I guess Tamara, let's start with you. Just give us kind of a quick intro, who you are, where you're from, how long you've been with EXP, how you hit icon status, that kind of thing.
Well, from Indiana. I am a pharmacist by education, in which I practiced for 26 years. My husband's been in the real estate business since he was 21 years old. He's now hit 34 years in the business, and we built a large, what should I say, office, I guess, although we had 10 offices in the state with a RE/MAX. So we decided to join EXP a few years ago. We had several hurdles to overcome to actually get here. So it is my first full year with EXP and my first year to hit ICON, with my husband being in practice with me, and we are leaders of a mega team here. We didn't expect not to hit ICON, I guess, if you will. So, so it's pretty.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, you've got to have that vision, right? I mean, you definitely got to have that vision going into it. So, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's all part of the EXP and the incredible opportunity that they have offered us. So, it was always the plan this way, and I'll let somebody else talk.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's great. Donald, how about you?
All right. Don Goodrow in New Hampshire. And I've been with EXP since 2017. I've hit ICON once. That was January 2025. And I did 49 transactions. We do a lot of transactions up here. And let's see. I'm a solo agent, although my wife, who's also licensed, doesn't like sales, so I do all the sales.
Yeah.
And she does the back office. Although one-on-one, she'd eat your lunch. So
there you go.
But that's how it goes.
No, I think we're all in sales. I mean, if you think about what we all do, I mean, you think you're in operations, but if you need something, you're kind of in sales in some respects. So anyway, Thomas, how about you?
Hey, I'm in Mobile, Alabama, and I've been licensed for 21 years and joined EXP about 2.5 years ago. I've iconed both years. Last year, I sold 94 units. I am heavy into the REO world. I got involved in the REO world before the crash of 2009. Saw the writing on the wall in 2007 and started getting involved with doing BPOs. And next thing I know, I'm getting listings and I start applying I work for 13 different REO companies. I'm a Fannie Mae Direct. I work for Mr. Cooper, Pyramid, Selene, all the big ones. And I've got about 60 REO properties right now in my portfolio that I am managing in one way, shape, or form. We're rehabbing some. Yep. We're trying to evict some. Okay. Some are in redemption and some are on the market. So it's the opportunity that I saw with EXP during the NAR lawsuit as an independent, because I've owned my own brokerage for 21 years, and I still own this brokerage. So it's the Cummings company brokered by EXP. I wanted to maintain my office and maintain the team that I had. And now I'm in the process of agent attraction and building a larger scale team. One of the companies I work for is American Destiny Realty, and I am looking for agents all over the state of Alabama that I can possibly get to come over to the EXP family, and then I can assign them assets throughout the state.
No, in this space, it's always about having, you've got some depth, and I found in many of our cases, and I've always been a student of just understanding. You take, I had a life coach that said to me one time, pick who your three heroes are, right? And what you necessarily see in these individuals would be, I'm a big fan of Walt Disney, for example, and he was originally an animator, but he ultimately turned into be, this amazing guy that created theme parks. So you see what version 2 of people's lives. I think everything in your life is always portable over into what you do. And there's skills that you learn. There's every hard situation is there's something you take away and you build and you learn and you kind of grow and do that. So I kind of hear that in a little bit of everyone, really. So all right. So did I catch everybody? Let's see here. Is it Blake? Nope. All right. So I think Blake is muted. All right. So let's go into really kind of let's talk a little bit about ICON as a whole. I know that we all have a story, right? And there's going to be certain scenarios that we all maybe can share something with the audience, and so let's I kind of take it a little bit of a deeper dive. I mean, let's talk about what your daily, weekly schedule actually looks like during the ICON year. Maybe even one system that kind of helped you close more deals. And so, anybody want to kind of take a jump at that? Tamara, you want to jump in there on that one?
Yeah, sure. I don't think it's any one thing with being in the business for so long. I mean, we did start with 0 in June 1st of 2024. And we've built our team. We're now in 10 states. And we have, I think, just over 100. I don't know the exact number. But it's just kind of like from that day forward, we began growing. And we felt that in doing it like a second time, we've done it before, right? So we just felt like building those relationships, helping agents to succeed by building lasting relationships, basically has been our model for 30 some odd years. And we've just built a culture. Our mission statement is inspire people, create opportunities, and support dreams. And it started with inspire agents, create opportunities, and support dreams. And we decided, well, that's a little too limiting, right? We want to inspire people.
Yeah.
So everything that we do is focused on and supporting that foundation. So that is a daily thing for us.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I see. When we talk about our business, I didn't really spend much. I mean, we our ICON, of course, Houston. We do a lot with really systems and scaling. So my history is in technology. I was spent about 30 years in that. And when I talk about the Disney and kind of be able to something that's portable, I brought a lot of technology over to us. And so when you talk about people, I mean, there's a lot of systems and things that can get in the way. And I say that sincerely. I'm a tech guy at heart, but it really is about people. It's a team sport. It's a contact sport. And so being out, and being as much or as little as you want to be. This market is tough. It's got we all want interest rates to make some moves and do some different things. So I think ultimately we found that our systems, really are a big deal. And so I'll go in there, but I don't want to take other time. So Donald, how about you? What are some of your schedules, or maybe a tool or systems or something like that?
All right. Well, I have always done file maintenance on Monday. Real exciting. And make sure that, I'm on track, because I find more often than not, a lot of times I have to do both sides of the transaction.
Yeah.
Tell the other agent how to get the job done and make sure, did you order that, did you order that appraisal? Did you meet the appraiser? Did you, all the things we do. And so anyhow, I make sure I stay on top of that every Monday, so I don't, something doesn't slip through the cracks. And grandma's sitting on the U-Haul, smoking a cigar with the hound dog, and we don't close. So that's step one. Step two, I follow up. I mean, I'm old school. I still have a Franklin planner.
Yeah.
And what I do is I fill every white spot in the Franklin planner. And so if I write down, Joe Blow on 1 Main Street wants a CMA. So I'll put a check mark. Then I'll go back. And this is really primitive, maybe caveman to you all. But then I'll go back and say, I haven't put a second check mark there in 3 days. So that gives me a reminder, go back, follow up. So anyhow, the other 4 days, and I work 7, by the way, but the other 4 days of the week, I make sure that I'm following up. I don't do much prospecting because my 8 to 10 lead courses provide me tons of leads. So I'm more of a follow-upper, and I get people from open houses and things like that of my listings.
Yeah. Is there, you go into the Franklin planner. I mean, I think I have some version of that. I don't think, having a plan or having a schedule, I think is super important, to go through your day. I mean, we have our team calls at, 10 o'clock local. We go through deep dive. Okay, what's going on? It's also kind of shake off the dust from the weekend, but it's 10 o'clock. It's, we all jump on Zoom calls. We say, how are we doing? What happened over the weekend, things coming up for the week. We get marketing aligned. We get all of this, but it's very scheduled and it's very intentional. And so we have found that to be very successful. Now we have a bunch of other little stops along the way. I don't want to overschedule people in their meetings and get in the way of their job, but at the end of the day, it is about being intentional, and you've got to really inspect. If you're hiring folks out, we found that, you really got to, you heard the adage, you got to inspect what you expect. And I really believe that. If you kind of say it's going to be automated systems, even technology systems, if you're going to say that, you've got to ensure those systems are operating the best for you. So, all right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bill. I'm having some technical difficulties. This is Blake Arsenault. How's everyone doing?
It's going good, Blake. Let's get caught up. Tell us where you're from real quick, and then let's go to a quick system, something in your schedule. Give us just a quick overview.
Absolutely. I'm glad y'all can hear me. Thank y'all for bearing with me. My name is Blake Arsenault. I'm from the Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm a baby in real estate. I've only been doing this. This is my about 2.5 years. I was a general manager in the car business before this, and I just kind of came in to real estate on a whim. I loved people. I loved doing what I did, and I've iconed my first 2 years as a solo agent, and now I have a team of 4 people with me. So yes. So I'm starting that. I'm kind of gonna go that route with the team building thing. I've done it in the car industry, so I want to bring it along to real estate.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I know it's hard to do this business all on your own. So, all right, hey Thomas, let's get a quick word from you on that systems, schedule, that kind of thing.
All right, so I've got a transaction coordinator who's a licensee, and she really, is the backbone. She does a lot of my data entry and On all the REOs, we have to turn on water and power and all the billing and all that stuff. But we're in the office every day, 7:15, and I've also partnered up with a group of EXP folks, and we have an accountability call every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9 o'clock, and it only lasts 20 minutes. But it's there's 10 people at the table, and we challenge each other. And how can we make this business better? How can we do better? How can we serve better? How can we recruit better? So it's really, and what are your action items for today? How many agents do you think you're going to talk to possibly potentially think about coming over to EXP? And then on top of that, I was in the restaurant business for 18 years. So it's all about customer service. And, people just want to be treated with respect. They want a return phone call. It's amazing how many phone calls I get that people will say, "You're the fourth agent I've called and I haven't received a phone call back." I don't understand that.
Thomas, I tell you what, same thing. I get in anyone that's in this or listening to this. I'm sorry, Thomas. I'm a pet. That's one of my pet peeves. I can't believe people do not return their calls. Anyway, but go ahead. That's a major. That's 101 in sales, right?
Absolutely. You got to call. I used to have a Franklin years ago when I was with Marriott Corporation. Because they gave them to us, and I learned how to use one. I've moved on to a digital platform. I have a Remarkable, and it is phenomenal because you don't lose it. It's digital. You can email from it. You can do PDFs from it. There's all kinds of stuff. And I'm not technologically savvy, to be real honest with you. I think that's one of the biggest things that I saw with EXP was the back of the house. This right here, what we're doing. I mean, what other organization that you know of that's got the support back of the house that EXP does? It's just absolutely incredible. So it's just all about accountability and just taking care of your clients.
I couldn't agree more. There are. We start talking about systems and processes, and there's a ton of tools, and that's one of the reasons when I chose EXP was, again, I was a technology guy and had spent all this time and I said, how do we leverage that? And so we get into, AI and some other things, but it really is a force multiplier. And so those that are maybe nervous about technology, EXP is a fantastic place to be because of the value proposition that they bring to the table. It really is. What other cloud-based or monolithic, brokerage does this type of investment into their agents? So, love EXP, and so that's my pitch for that. So let's keep talking about. Let's talk about the lead gen side of our business here a little bit. So the bulk of the business, where did it come from? Your Sphere, referrals, online leads. Blake, you want to take that one?
I would love to take that one. Yes, and Bill, to kind of piggyback a little bit of what you said, I was as a new agent. There was a lot of noise that I shouldn't join EXP because I'm brand new. It's a cloud-based brokerage. You're not going to have the support that you needed. The list went on, right? So glad I didn't listen to all of that. Because, look at what we're doing now. I feel like we have the support. And even, though we are cloud-based, we have some people that are really supportive in our local area as well. So I'm so glad I didn't let all of that noise get in the way of me, going with EXP. But to answer your question, lead generation, I did have a big sphere coming from the automotive industry. So I did incorporate that into my business. I was able to take care of people for so long. And if you can buy a car from someone, because the epitome of a car salesman could be, it could go either way. I read a book one time and it says buying a car was like getting a root canal. I don't know.
That's a good one.
I'm telling you, right? So I figured if I could sell a car and build a relationship with these people, so that had really helped me exponentially in the beginning of my career. And then I do the whole lead gen, especially for the team as well. because I have some agents that came from Nashville, agents that came from a couple of different places that relocated. So I am on a lead generation side, but I'm a cold caller. I did it for so long in the car business. So we make 300 to 400 calls a day. We have a dialer, and that has really helped us in our business for sure.
Yeah, we when you say outbound dials, I mean, I spent my life in just biz dev, making, new business. I felt coming into this that, there are a lot of people that, let's say we all have friends that are in this business too, right? And so our networks, and I said, I can't necessarily depend on my sphere, although it's good. I have good friends and people that care and people that have bought from us, but I always felt that I needed to make new connections, new relationships. And it was always about finding new people. And so that has been a big value add to our business. I haven't just leaned on, Mary Smith, for example, as I may have known Mary for 20 years, but I haven't, Mary also knows 3 or 4 other agents, Mary reaches out and talks to us and all this other stuff. But I always wanted to say, well, who are the other people? I always felt like this in the technology business, that for every window you see, it could be revenue. And because people need real estate, people need a place to stay, like they need, food or air. That's this in fundamental. So it's, the world is, one agent told me when I got started, the world's your oyster. So, you just never know. That's a good word. It's a good word.
And Bill, and if I could add one thing to that, being a new realtor in this market, there's a lot of people that already they have their real estate professionals that they've been using for years and that are friends. And so I never, and I never expected them to switch over to me. I'm going to brand, you know what I mean? Because they have their loyalty. Shit, I had a realtor, right? You know what I mean? I bought properties along the way, and she's still in the business. So I couldn't just depend on that as well. So that's a great point that you bring up.
Yeah, you talk about EXP. I absolutely say that as well. I've never had a situation where EXP did not support me, and they've been great. This EXP world, and get in, talk to the broker, whoever we need to talk to. So, okay, let's see. Tamara, why don't you grab that one real quick? We're going to try to move on to some different topics here, and but Tamara, why don't you grab that one? As far as bulk of your business, you're a large team, right? A mega team. So Sphere referrals online. How do you?
Well, the majority of ours come from Sphere of Influence, but we again this people, this building relationships. We teach or guide our team members in lead generation on how to basically take a casual conversation and turn it into an opportunity. Both of you have already mentioned that. How you do that as well. Everybody needs a realtor, right? Needs it at some point. But you need to build that relationship so people, they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they will send you your business, As far as attraction, with my husband being in the business and being here and us building this, we had a large team before we came to EXP. So clearly, we have a lot of connections here, but we also use Courted. So we do some cold calling too, Blake, but in the attraction realm with Courted. I don't know if any of you guys use that. We've had some success with that in building our team.
Yeah. What CRMs do you all use? Just a quick poll here. Tamara, which one do you all use?
When the CRM of choice came about, Close has been the most popular one with those in our group who have sought a change from KV Core.
Yeah, we started with KV Core, but we jumped over to Go High Level, and we tricked that out. I've got a good creative team that helps put those things put those things together. Blake, how about you?
Oh, KV Core.
Yep. KV Core is good. I mean, I don't. This is no disrespect. I mean, I think the best CRM is the one they always say the best ones you is the one you're going to use. I mean, I've used Salesforce.
Yes,
I've used them all, right? So
Sure.
we just found the ability to pivot. But KV Core is good. In fact, it's really what helped us build our business in the early days. Donald, how about you?
Yeah, I started at a time when they had conversion, and then it migrated over into KV Core, and I've never looked at anything else. It's always done fine for me.
Yeah, and then Thomas, which one do you use?
Bold Trail, which is the old KV Core. I'm also Go High Level with Jay Kinder.
Yep.
And that's just an unbelievable program.
Yeah, I think if there's any takeaway from this is that you're all active using these things, right? And that is, I've always told our team, it is really the hub of your life in this business. I mean, you're going to have conversations, and you get all these situations going on to be able to nurture people along for attraction. Little drips. There's some technology that we believe that says for every, and there's different stats out there. So let me give you the example. Blake, there was a particular company that we did in our tech days that said and they worked with the car business, for example, and they said by the 8th digital touch, they knew that someone was ready to purchase a vehicle. Now translate that over into the real estate space is, so how many touches are you doing in a place? I mean, there's a point where you can oversaturate. I mean, people can say, you know what, this is too much. So you have to find that cadence that's going to be a nice blend that is that puts you really as top of mind whenever they're ready to make a move. So Thomas, let me ask you a little bit here on your brand, your personal brand. How's it evolved since joining EXP, and what social media moves or video content that have maybe helped you stand out to attract clients?
Well, like I said, I've been with EXP for about a little over 2 years, I guess. And I guess it's hard to answer that question because a lot of my business comes from REOs. So I just get assigned properties.
Yep.
I do a lot of traditional listings. I do a ton of, there's another program that I'm going to mention to you, and you might find it in your area. But has anybody ever heard of MoveTube TV?
Actually, I haven't.
You don't need to look into MoveTube TV. So I got a phone call about 3 or 4 months ago from a lender. And he goes, look, I've studied all the production and with most of the high producing agents in your area, and I want to pick you. I said, okay, what are you going to do for me? He goes, I'm going to put you on television for free. I said, okay, I like free. What's in it for you? He goes, I want 1 loan a quarter. I said, I can do that. So I've gotten 2 loans. We're closing on 1 next week. And what he does is once my listing goes into the MLS, usually within 12 to 24 hours, I get an email saying that my MoveTube channel is up and running. So then I go in through AI, and I've read 4 or 5 scripts, so it knows my voice, and it basically overrides what's in the MLS notes is an audio along with the video of the house, and then I immediately post it to Facebook and LinkedIn. And I usually, you're talking about systems, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I post every one of my listings. I got 28, I think. I post them all. So I get a lot of traction from that. I've sold 2 houses off of and had gotten both sides of posting these videos on social media. And I'm not a social media guy. I don't write blogs. I don't have time. I'd love to. I don't have time. But the social media platform is definitely transforming my business.
Yeah, we have seen that as well. I mean, the social media. I mentioned just a brief bit on AI. We have found that the AI components for this have really created a nice offering. And so there's some different tools out there. For example, there's one called Marblism. If you haven't heard that was a new one that just came across, Marblism. If you want to check it out, but they will actually help you write blogs. And then what it does is, I mean, it'll kind of do an examination of your site and help you, write blogs. And you can pick and choose. And then you say, okay, do you want to launch this or not? You edit it, make sure it's read. And anything I would tell people on AI is you want to make sure that it's saying what you want to say. But this is done within minutes. And we're also, big parts of ChatGPT. And one of the things that we've said on AI is, and I didn't really mention this on the system side for us, but it's not just about ChatGPT, but it's about, and I think EXP has actually had some commentary in some of their meetings on this, but it's taken ChatGPT and how to monetize it for your business with other applications. And so, we create songs, we create lyrics, we personalize stuff specifically to the client. So, there's a lot of little things. The REO business, we've done some of that as well. It's been very good. And so what I'm learning here, being with you all, is that the diversity, we're all icons, but the diversity of how we're going about our business, which is what makes this business really, really exciting. So, Tamara, what about you on this one? I mean, personal brand. I mean, you've got a mega team, so you go back to the early days for you, and now you're a mega team. And what does that look like for you? Is it about the personal brand, or is it about the logo for your business?
Yeah, for us, it's about our logo, and our team name is Clubhouse RE, brokered by eXp Realty, obviously. But when like I said, we had 10 offices in Indiana. We were able to close down all of them before we elected, or one of our largest franchise agreements expired. And we had, our hub was in Carmel, Indiana, where we are right now. And it was our largest office. We had over 100 agents here. And what we did was we rebranded our office to a co-working space dedicated to the real estate industry. And we had a group of agents, it was all guys actually, and they would say, hey, let's meet and watch the football game this weekend. So we've got a lot of TVs, casual areas, we've got an outdoor patio and things like that. And they dubbed it the clubhouse. So they would, texts would go back and forth. Hey, we're going to meet at the clubhouse, meet us at the clubhouse. So it was a natural progression for us to name our team Clubhouse RE. But we have it on all of our clothes, our cars. We really promote that, although we don't require, and EXP doesn't either, we don't require that each agent says, oh, I'm with Clubhouse RE, as long as they say that they're with EXP. So we really love our logo, if you will, and our name. We are the #1 mega team in Indiana too, so that's nice. It all goes together. But as far as the social media, we just partnered with RealGrader. I don't know if you guys have been exposed to RealGrader. We saw them at EXPCon last year for the first time, but we didn't jump to their platform till this year. And they have been really happy with the organizational aspect, the cleaning up, and the professionalism that they've brought to our social media platform. So it's kind of nice to give a consistent message, Everything's all in one place. With us coming from a large brand before and having a large presence with that, getting everything cleaned up so it all is the same was overwhelming for us. And I don't know if any of you have ever sat down and tried to go through all your different social media and all your presence and everything, but that's what Real Greater has done for us. So we've been super happy with that. Looking forward to all of that coming together. I mean, we just partnered with him within the last 4 to 6 weeks, I think.
Well, in that, you talk about the, a consistent experience, and that's when I started in our business. I mean, I remember it was just me and we were doing it all. And I knew that I wanted to build the team aspect. And so when we started it was the logo. I mean, I started saying, this is going to be a point in time. I had come from large scale businesses, technology, publicly traded stuff, and I'd done all that. And even I've done some startups, but I just said I knew it's not about, although there was the personal touch from an agent, the friendly nature of that, but it was going to be bigger than one individual. That was my goal here, to build something. So building the logo, building, where, because there's only going to be so much time that you can do in a specific. There's always, so many things you can do in a given day. Sorry. And so that is the challenge, I think, as you grow and scale your business, is how do you learn to delegate this? How do you learn? And so, maybe there's some commentary, because I want to get into challenges here. And Donald, this one's coming to you next. But when I talked about, how do you scale your business in a difficult market? And what do you do with that? And, so it is, to me, it's staying core to your truth of who you are. And you got to stay on the phone. You got to be consistent. You got to be around people that are going to encourage you. And that's what I like about this EXP community. There are people that do lift you up and bring you along, but it's really about, fighting through this hard time. So Donald, let's talk about, now, we've all made some mistakes, right? We're icons, we've made some mistakes. So what is a challenge or setback that you faced on the way to being an icon, and how did you put through it? Especially, in this market, for example.
Well, I'll say this. I just missed icon a year ago, and then I made it this year. And so I would say, you have to really pick people that, are going to close. I had 6 fall throughs just in the last 6 weeks. There's turbulent times out there, and people are not focused. Yep. On a Monday, they're like, oh, I want the place. And then on a Thursday, my grandfather said, don't get it. So my background, I came from multi-level marketing, and it was all about positive mental attitude. I've been through all the different coaching programs, so I can self-motivate. But I'm also a mentor, and I bring mentees in, and I focus on the ones that really try to, build the business. And that kind of charges me, because, I've done everything there is in business, and I'm 69 years old. So do I, what do I conquer next? What legacy do I want to leave? I want to kind of teach a mentee how to grow the business huge, and teach them, also about positive mental attitude and whatnot. I'm not sure if that answers your question.
No, it does. And again, I think, like you said, there's challenging times. We're all having to fight through. Lenders are dealing with it right now, and so we're finding in our business, working with a lot of investors. That's a part of our community. We're actually Really Group. We're a full service, buy, sell, lease. We even do some rent to owns out there. But the investor swim lane that we work with right now is receiving a lot of attention. It's because rates are where they are, and there's a lot of things politically that are going on. So whether the Fed's going to lower or not, so that's out of our control. So it's what can you do to meet people where they are, right? And so we try to find diverse programs help people get approved. There's sellers that are truly looking to move their properties. There's some that are, I call them event driven. You either have, maybe a new child, or maybe unfortunately a death in the family or something, and moving. We talked about, Thomas, you're doing a lot of the reload stuff. I mean, I've seen some of that. It's all event driven stuff is what's really keeping things active. So we've had to really dial down just because people are not really moving at the moment. So Blake, what would you do? Let me ask you, if you had to do something differently in your Icon year, what would it be?
I would do something differently. I would have definitely focused more on referrals. I think as a new agent, I was just trying to go out and just get as much business as I could. Branding has really helped me. I heard something at EXPCon. They said, and then I did incorporate AI in my business as well. But I didn't do that until the second year. The first year I heard that AI will not take over our business, but agents that are using it will. So I think I would have incorporated AI a little bit sooner than I did, because I wasn't familiar with it. And to be frank, it was a little bit intimidating initially, for me to let those things go. But now it's where I'm at in my business now. I was like, man, I wish I'd incorporated this a year ago. And thanks for sharing the Real Grader. And I'm going to look into that too, that digital marketing system on that end as well. But yes, I think that would have probably been a couple of things that I would have changed.
Yeah, I think we always learn. And as I said early on, there's every experience, is hard as it is. Every experience is going to share. I mean, that's part of our 10 o'clock calls. As we build and talk to our teams, it's tough, and keep fighting through, and sometimes it's just, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat. It's a little morale builder kind of stuff, or some team plays, or doing something just to change it up. I mean, because you feel like you can be grinding through this difficult time. So, but you stay in it, and you got to stay focused. You got to, you've got to have, I think, the schedule, keeping yourself within some sort of boundaries of like, look, I'm going to be dedicated to doing this. There's something that has to, and I had a broker early in the career for me saying, look, the people that survive this business are the ones that have true grit, that are going to be able to get in and fight through it. So this is one of those times you got to really, really, really dig in. I would say, it's if I had to do something different, there's times that mentally there's a lot of noise in the head. And so there's times like, okay, so how do we drive through this moment? And in looking at, there's certain moments where I would say, let's go back and talk collaboratively with maybe some other agents where, I just maybe kept it internal. So, one thing about the EXP community is that they do give away, and people give away stuff and encourage and build you up. And so finding your way into being in some team meetings, or just getting out and refreshing the scenery for yourself if you find yourself. So that's something we would do different. Hey, I know for time reasons, I want to keep moving here. Let's talk about, because I think we all agree this has been kind of some tough times. So let's talk about scaling and long-term vision here for a few minutes. And Thomas, this was for you. It says, now that you've hit Icon, what's really your next growth play? I mean, your team or investment. Obviously you're doing referrals, rev share. I mean, kind of what do you see here the next maybe 6 to 12 months for your business?
It's all about rev share now. Absolutely 100%. I'm dedicated. I am focused in on the high level. Again, we've partnered with Jay Kinder, and he's got a referral program especially with this co-sponsor that EXP has come up with, which is just going to change the industry completely. Yep. But when I joined EXP, I was extremely busy. I'm still extremely busy, which is great. I love what I do. But I really wished I had focused. If this is one thing I should have done and I didn't do, was focus on agent attraction and getting to that point where my cohort here has got a mega team. So I don't have that yet. I think I've got 6 or 7 agents, but I've got 3 that have committed to come to EXP this month, just through the Go High Level program with Jake Ender. And that's my focus right now, is agent attraction for long-term residual passive income.
I couldn't agree more. And that's something I failed to mention. Yeah, rev share is probably something in agent attraction. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Donald, how about you? What's your next play in this? Referrals, investment, rev share? What's your thought?
Well, like I said, I'm 69, so I'm going to stay in this till the day I die. But the thing is that I'm calling myself the New Hampshire land czar. It's even on my license plate. We do a lot of land, and some of you might be in a metropolitan area with not much land. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of slowly transition into luxury. And It's a whole new move for me, but I've been doing this 22 years, so I have a few things to offer people. And I'd like to put one good person in per year that actually stays in. That's my whole thing.
Oh, no, that's okay. I thought I lost you for a minute. Blake, what about you? And this is going to be kind of an additional, so takes that, what's next for you? And then Tamara, this will be the same question. What kind of, I guess, a quick hit. What's next? What's the next growth play? And then, maybe some advice you would give to an agent who is chasing the icon.
Yes, so my focal point is agent attraction as well, to scale a team. I've built team in the automotive industry, so I know how to recruit and how to get out there. I just got to get out there and actually do it. I think learning the EXP model is the most important part, though. I really submersed myself this year to really learn the model. Really explain the benefits of actually coming here, the support that we have. And some agents feel alone, they feel just like I have an office. I don't make it mandatory, but I highly encourage them to come to the office, and it's worked. Just having discipline, because I personally cannot work from home, but that's not the case for everyone. So, and I understand that. And there's a lot of top producers that work from home, but I like structure and to actually because I'll probably lay on the couch a little longer if I worked from home than I should. But I feel like coming to an office and building that team-based thing, just because we're cloud-based, that works for some people. Some people, it may not work for, but in my industry and in my area, it's I don't have to ask them to come to the office anymore. They're there sometimes before me. So that's kind of cool, and I'm able to have a pulse. I can kind of like check on my team too, because sometimes I can just the psychology behind it, just like in their mannerisms and whatnot, I could tell if something's going on, if they needed, some extra support. So for that in my area, that's what I'm focused on in my business this year.
Yeah. Tamara, what about you on that? Piece of advice, next play, that kind of thing.
Definitely agent attraction.
Yep.
That's why we came to EXP.
Right.
We have something that we can build and leave to our son. Our son is actually 26 and practicing in Jacksonville, Florida. With our previous brand, what were we doing? We were limited, very limited, couldn't go outside of the state. We had to purchase franchise agreements for 10 different locations within the state. So that, just the fact that we can go outside the state is amazing.
Yep.
But yeah, my husband makes 30 outbound calls a day at least. in focusing solely on agent attraction. As far as supporting the agents, we do find that we actually attract a lot of new agents. And I think that has to do with the fact that we have an office space and we have a team. We have a team presence in the state. So we have regular meetings in the office. It's the same day of the month, same day of the week. Although we're here 9 to 5, we obviously promote that culture, kind of like Blake. We encourage people to come into the office to have that connectivity, even though we're a cloud-based brokerage. And it's something that we have built, like I said, but we've had this office space since 2012, and we're in downtown Carmel, which is like the city here has built up around us. So we're within walking distance of a lot of things down here. But and aside from doing our weekly calls with our new agents, having meetings here, we have a fireside chat every Friday morning. You'll see that in events, EXP's events, where we just talk about different situations. And our clubhouse is open to not just agents. We actually have memberships, and we sell office or rent office space, but it's open to, we have mortgage representatives from the mortgage industry, title, insurance, inspection, warranty, handyman, painters, contractors, renovation, movers. So we all come together, and our new agents have that connection already. But as far as, encouraging them, we really tell them to pick something and focus on it for a year. Most agents new into the business will just abandon what they had set out to do if they don't see any results in a short amount of time. So we ask them to pick something specific and stick with it for a year, because inevitably they would have left right before something was going to pop or produce for them, and then that would hopefully start a domino effect. So that's kind of our inspiration, I guess. I don't know if I got off on a tangent, didn't I, Bill? I'm so sorry.
No. It's all good. Well, here's the thing, and I think the theme for anyone listening is how do you build your business? I mean, there's going to be a different perspective, but I think there's certainly commitment here to say this is what Tamara, you just mentioned it, right? It's punching through, and this is a space where deals just don't fall out of the sky like they did maybe a few years ago. And so how do you continue to fight through that? I know maybe if you're talking about, I know we've all said agent attraction, one of the challenges I had was how to create agent attraction when you're a brand new agent. How do you go out and convince somebody that is saying, okay, come to EXP, and whenever you're just getting started, so that is it's a personal business decision. Obviously you're going to have a sponsor, you're going to have your mentors, you're going to have all of those folks that will continue to work with you in your local market. But, I've always felt that if you just focus on the success, and each person here has to define success for themselves and to say, what does success look like? And you have to stay true to that cause, and you have your standard, you focus on that standard, and you keep punching through. So that would be my encouragement to you. So Brian, I don't know how much time we have, but let me just, I've got some little rapid round fire here, that, what would be, and really for any of you here, I think we lost Blake, but, all right. So favorite script let's see here, favorite script that always works, or maybe your best book or podcast this year, one thing you stopped doing to help you grow, or maybe what's your superpower as an agent? Any one of those. You want to
building an empire. Great book.
Building an empire. All right. Let's see here. I asked myself that question, and I could say favorite script that always works is I try to meet people where they are. You know, I know that this market, there is situations that people that are struggling, and they're just sitting, they're trying to figure out how in the world maybe, you know, the new buyer, the millennium buyer, how do they get approved? And so it's almost, I mean, you know, everyone on this stage would probably say, I mean, we do more than just real estate, right? I mean, you're holding the bucket for a lot of situations. You hear sad stories of failure and tragedy and, you know, heartache. And so life is happening. And so how do you, you know, work your way into that specific relationship business? Because if you're serving them right, they'll continue to come back and be with you. That is true. So I would just meet people where they are. Donald or Tamara, what about you? Script or podcast or book? Superpower?
The Gap and the Gain. It's a book, obviously. It's a little bit kind of like building an empire. So you have this lofty goal, right? We've always taught or preached or suggested that your goal, you know, should be pretty big, right?
Yep.
But the gap is, you know, not having to look at that goal and saying, oh my God, why don't I have 500 agents underneath me right now? You know, that was the goal. But instead you look at, well, you know, 13 years ago or 13 months ago, we were at 0 and now we're at 130. So you've got those, you do have successes there. Instead of getting, I think you mentioned it before, Bill, head trash.
Yep.
Getting stuff in your mind and
noise.
Like, oh my God, why haven't I gotten this or this or this? And am I going to be able to get this? And, you know, and still being inspiring to those that have said yes to you as well. So anyway.
No, that's good. That's good. Blake, what about you? I mean, I know you popped in and out. So we were asking kind of a, you know, something, favorite script that works or best book or podcast this year, the thing you stopped doing or helped you grow, or maybe with your superpower as an agent.
Is that for Don or?
Yeah, Noel, Blake is, I think he's having connectivity. Don, why don't you go ahead and grab that one?
Okay. I would say you're going to laugh, but I don't read many books because I'm reading contracts all day long. So yeah. My wife could read a 400-page novel on a weekend. My claim to fame is I just try keeping it real, and became an expert at personality styles. I can tell in 3 sentences how I'm going to approach that buyer or seller.
Yep.
And I very often, if I feel comfortable enough and I feel they're open to it, I'll just say, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. Do you want the 2x4 over the head, or do you want it candy coated?
Yeah. I mean, because sometimes you have to, I say you meet people where they are, you have to find to somebody really, I mean, and that's the hard thing. Do they want true truth in this? Or, I mean, we've got a scenario right now that they really don't want to invest in the property, but we're walking into a house that has 5 floor surfaces on it. This is a 1,600 square foot house. So how do you, you know, and they want top dollar for it. And so it's that, you know, being real, being truthful with them, but also understanding how this is going to impact your business, because that's going to take time. It's going to take investment in you know, finding out. I use an acronym. A little side thing here is I use an acronym called BANT, Budget, Authority, Need, Timeline. I've taught this in my tech days and here as well in the real estate. But budget, authority, need, timeline. So when I'm defining success for a particular client, I ask, your budget, you know, authority. I mean, who am I obviously talking to the right people? What's the need? And what's the timeline? And if you're getting, let's say 25%, you get 1 out of 4, yeah, they're probably not very motivated. To 50%, you know, or if let's say B, A, and N, and they don't have a timeline, maybe you just need to jump on that. Of course, if you got all 4 answered, you need to be in there yesterday. So that's kind of a quick little analysis that we've done. It's worked very well for us, and maybe it adds value here. I was hoping Blake would be around us. So, all right. Well, I guess as we kind of close out here, you know, what if you had to give a call to action to people, and I'm a really big fan of call to action for any of these, anyone that's, you know, saying, I mean, what are your next steps? I mean, what would be the things that you would say? You know, are you stuck in a grind or reinventing, or, you know, what are you implementing this week? What would you encourage people that are listening to this to do different now, knowing that you've got all the macro environmental things going on, interest rates and morale and, you know, head noise, and what would be the one call to action you would give someone if they were asking you? Thomas, you want to grab that?
Stay true to the course. Have a plan. Okay. Have a plan. Stick to the plan. Don't deviate from the plan, and do every transaction, every deal, and every person you touch, treat them the same way.
Yep.
And you will never have a problem.
No, that's great advice. Tamara, how about you?
I never stop learning.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I tell our team all the time. I mean, you're educating, you're growing through new deals, new opportunities, you're connecting with people. So absolutely agree with that. Don, how about you?
I would say, you know, look over all your clients all your prospects, and then call every one of them. And then your 136 clients that you think you have, boil it down to the true 10, and then go after them and get them to the next level in the next 30 days. Yeah.
Yeah. I love these things. I mean, my value add here would be is look at the positives that you do have. We're all very grateful. We're all licensed. We're all have the opportunity to go impact a person's life or family life. And so look at the opportunities that you do have versus what you don't have, and build upon those opportunities. Encourage people and really just be able to help, you know, whether it's an individual agent or if it's a family in need. So you find those opportunities. So Brian, are you still with us? I want to see if there's any questions or Q&A out there, specifics that we need to do, or what would be next in this?
Well, you know, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. Does anybody out there in the audience have any questions for our panelists today? It doesn't look like we do, Bill. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. This was an amazing show. You guys are amazing. We are here every Friday. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button and subscribe.